The Los Angeles Police Department is coming under increasing criticism for violently crushing a largely peaceful immigrant rights march on Tuesday. Police with riot guns fired 240 rounds, shot tear gas, and clubbed protesters and journalists gathered in MacArthur Park. At least 10 people were injured, including 7 journalists. Pedro Sekic was broadcasting live for Spanish-language television network Telemundo when police knocked over his monitors and lights and hit his staff with batons. Sekic told the Los Angeles Times a police officer grabbed one of his cameras and threw it more than 15 feet to the ground. He said police pointed a riot gun at his face, hit him with a baton, and forced him out of the park. Patricia Nazario of the public radio station KPCC was also injured. On Wednesday, Nazario described to listeners what happened to her.
The cop jammed me in my ribs with his billy club, and so I turned around square looking at him. I had my press pass on, I had my mic flag in my hand, my notepad and my pen, and I said, "Why did you hit me? I'm a reporter." And he said, "Move." And I said, "I am moving. Why did you hit me? I'm a reporter." And he hit me again harder that time, and I fell.
Others assaulted included 4 employees of KVEA-TV Channel 52 and a reporter for the public radio station KPCC hit by a police baton. Cristina Gonzalez, a reporter for the Fox affiliate KTTV Channel 11, suffered a bruised shoulder after she was shoved to the ground. Her camera operator suffered a broken wrist. The incident was caught on tape.
Police in riot gear moved into MacArthur Park after some protesters started throwing rocks and plastic bottles at officers. But this time, it was impossible for the news media to be impartial observers.
I am helping her move her to get a video.
Move her back away from the skirmish line or you're under arrest. This way.
You can't do that. You cannot do that. You know that.
Go this way.
What is your name?
It didn't stop with pushing and shoving. Police officers fired rubber bullets. Protesters say they had no warning that officers were moving in.
We are talking about an order to disperse, which I never heard. Neither did people getting hit by rubber bullets. That man was standing next to a colleague's network live shot, which got this.
A photographer was trying to capture all of the action when he was targeted by police. He's knocked over, then kicked. The officer even grabs and throws his camera. As our crew tries to move to safety, a police officer hits camera person Patty Ballard.
Here is the perspective from our colleagues at Univision. You see us on the right side of the screen. Patty goes down. I am trying to protect her, but they don't stop. Even though I'm telling them we are trying to get to our truck a few feet away.
A report by Fox affiliate KTTV Channel 11. The LAPD says it gave orders to disperse, but several journalists and protesters have disputed the account. The order was made only in English, not even near the main crowd. LAPD Police Chief William Bratton admitted the actions taken by the police were inappropriate. He said, quote, "I was disturbed at what I saw." The LAPD has launched a pair of investigations. Several news groups say they're considering legal action. We go now to Los Angeles to 2 guests. Ernesto Arce is a correspondent for Pacifica radio station KPFK in Los Angeles. He was shot with a police rubber bullet at the May Day protest. Also on the line, Gerardo Gomez, counselor and homeless rights activist, who was shot twice at the protest. Ernesto Arce, let's begin with you. Where were you? What did you see?
Hi, good morning, Amy. I was at the southeast corner of the park, MacArthur Park, which I believe was at 7th and Alvarado. I was, trying to get a sense of what was happening. I noticed that there was a lot of commotion at that end of the park. I noticed that a lot of people were running and fleeing. So I wanted to see what it was that was happening. I also wanted to, get onto the Metro link to get home. But of course, I wasn't able to do that since there was a heavy police presence on Alvarado Street. It was then that I noticed that police, and I guess it was 2 different kinds of cops. There was the regular cops, and then there was the SWAT team who had come in, very shielded attire. They also were holding what looked like rifles. They began to push people back from the very southeast corner of the park into the park. They were at first using batons, but I noticed that they began to shoot. I wasn't sure what type of, whether it was tear gas or whether they were actual, real bullets or rubber pellets. But many people were getting hit. It was at that time that people began to just, flee towards the north of the park. There was a lot of commotion. There was a lot of confusion. Hundreds of families were still there. Actually, at this end of the park, the main rally, which was attended by approximately 5,000 to 10,000 people, organized by the MiWan Multi-Ethnic Workers Coalition, was still going on at this time. It hadn't been broken up, so there was still several hundred families, even on the south end of this south side of this park. A lot of people were running, screaming. There were families, there were children. There's a large transient population that lives at MacArthur Park. A lot of homeless individuals, handicapped individuals, and of course, streetcar vendors that sell different fares, whether ice cream or hot dogs. And they were unable to get out on time. And the police were relentless. They were merciless. They would hit anyone in their path. They would shoot at anyone. Actually, a lot of people were shot on the back, including myself. It was total chaos. And again, another example of Los Angeles Police Department brutality.
Ernesto, from what you were able to tell, what touched off this disproportionate response, given the fact that, for instance, last year, 500,000 people marched in Los Angeles in the biggest protest in that state's history, and now with this much smaller crowd, the police reacted in this way?
Well, it seems like they were trying to clear Alvarado Street for ongoing traffic, and there was a gathering, a large gathering, a circle of people that were gathered around Aztec danzantes, or pre-Columbian Mexican dancers, and they were holding a ceremony. And a police on motorcade decided to forcibly break that up, and they drove their motorcycles through this crowd. They were followed by police on bike and followed by more police on foot. The police on bike and the police on foot forcibly removed the people. I think there was some resistance because I think the Aztec dancers weren't able to pick up their ceremonial processions and some of the things that they had with them, drums, etc. And they weren't able to move quickly enough. I know several people were pushed over onto the ground by the police, and they weren't able to make it onto the sidewalk as the police were demanding. So I think there was definitely that original skirmish which happened approximately 30 minutes after the march concluded or arrived at MacArthur Park at approximately 5:30.
In addition to Ernesto Arce, correspondent with KPFK, Pacifica radio station in Los Angeles, who himself was shot with a rubber bullet, we're joined by Gerardo Gomez, a counselor and homeless rights activist in Los Angeles, shot twice with rubber bullets by the LAPD. Gerardo, describe exactly what happened to you, where you were, what point of the protest, and how you got shot.
I was there around about 5:40 close to the corner of 7th and Alvarado. And I was just a spectator, just on the sidewalk by the park. When about maybe 15 minutes later, I don't know where, we see cops like pushing the people out of the park and throwing tear gases and rubber bullets. And the first time I got shot, I would say I was probably maybe 400 feet away, and I got hit. And then I just started panicking and started running. I went to the other side of the park, which was maybe on it's probably the east side of 7th and Alvarado, like on the soccer side. That's when those are the images that's been showing on TV, where like it's on the soccer field and the cops just started just harassing the people and not giving any orders and then shooting at people. The second time that I got shot, I was very close to the Spanish cameraman who got hit with the bullet, and because he wasn't able to get up, he got hit with batons. So the second time I got hit, I was like 50 feet away, and I rolled down, and I was in pain, but if I didn't get up on time, I was gonna get hit again. And I want to remind you that what they did yesterday, it's totally inappropriate, and I know that there's been mentioned reports that there was they're trying to blame it on these young anarchists. But in reality, the cops got caught, and the fact that they got caught and that it's in the videos, they're trying to find someone to blame it for. So it's easy for them to say, oh, let's blame it on young anarchists, and that's not right.